All right, Lemon Break. I got something special for you guys today. I've been saying I was gonna do Yu-Gi-Oh content for a while now. I've been advertising it and advertising it, and I never really know what to give y'all because I don't know much about Yu-Gi-Oh. I've kind of been out of the um, current scene, I guess you could say, like the current what's going on for a while. But I do want to bring you guys because I used to play the game a lot and played it a lot as a kid, and I always enjoyed it until it got a little crazy around. I stopped playing. I want to say 3 years ago, so that'd be 2018. About 2018, I stopped playing. Mainly because Dragon Ball Super kind of just overtook it, and Pokemon TCG also kind of overtook it. So I just kind of started playing those more. Um, but one thing I do have knowledge about when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh is probably one of my favorite formats to play. Everybody knows and loves it and refers to it as GOAT format. So this is my Gravekeeper deck profile for GOAT format. Gravekeeper is a GOAT format deck. I had to double check before I made it, and it actually is a GOAT format deck. And Gravekeeper is one of my favorite archetypes. So as soon as I found out that it was GOAT format legal, I guess you could say, I just took it and ran. Now, it's not as good as the basic GOAT decks, that play like BLS and Exarion and Morphing Jar and Parshath and Metamorphosis and like all this. Like I have all this aside for just for that and the fusions. In case I wanted to go back to this deck, but the Gravekeeper deck doesn't use any of this, so we'll dive into it. We play 3 Gravekeeper Spy. Gravekeeper Spy helps us flood the field. With it's got 2,000 defense, 1,200 attack for level 4. It has a flip effect. Special summon one Gravekeeper monster with 15,000 or less attack from your deck. So setting this, it'll give us good defense, and then whenever it's attacked into, it's flipped, and then we'll activate. We'll flood the field. We'll grab a Gravekeeper card, and we'll put it on the field. So yeah, it helps us go wide quicker, which is kind of what Gravekeepers do. They want to Necro Valley will boost them, so the defense will become 25,000. So that's for level 4, 25,000, not 25,000, 2,500 is pretty high defense for level 4. So they're gonna take damage from that while we're also special summoning something else from deck. So we're gonna be able to boost those Gravekeepers throughout the board and really push for game. That's really what this deck does. So yeah, we played the Spy at 3, and then our next Gravekeeper card is Guard. We played that at 3 as well. He has 1,900 defense with 1,000 attack. And on flip, select the monster your opponent controls and return it to the hand. So they attack into this with a, let's say like a Jinzo or a Thousand Eyes Restrict, let's say, on flip, we'll bounce it to their hand, and now Jinzo's off the field. Problem card, it gets rid of problem cards. Now, it doesn't destroy them, which is a little bummer, but it bounces them to the hand, and then from there on, you just kind of keep pushing. Make sure they don't have any monsters for tributes for Jinzo or stuff like that. And so the 1,900 defense gets boosted to 24 with Necro Valley, so he's a good defender as well. Spy and him are our 2 defenders, our 2 Gravekeeper defenders. And our Gravekeeper attackers we play 3 Assailant. And Assailant is a 15/15. And when this card declares an attack while Necro Valley is in the field, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, change that target's battle position. So if they're, for example, like a Spirit Reaper or something, or a Sinister Serpent, when I swing, I can declare to put that into attack mode, and then it'll attack, and then it'll do damage. And with Necro Valley, he'll get 2,000 attack. So attacking a 2,000 attack into a let's say a goat token. I swing at a goat token. I put the goat token into attack position. They're taking 2,000 damage. So that's just it's. There wasn't really many goat Gravekeeper cards legal in GOAT or released in GOAT. So we gotta this is. I think all of the Gravekeepers that were available, we're running. I think Chief was available. We don't run Chief though. But yeah, so this becoming a 2,000, swinging at a weak monster in defense mode, we'll switch it to attack mode, and then they'll take the damage. So that's one of our attackers. And our other attacker is Spear Soldier. Now, he doesn't care if they're in attack or defense mode. He's going to do damage regardless, because when he attacks a defense position monster, he does piercing damage. So, he becomes a 20,000. You swing out a goat token, they're taking 2,000 damage right in the face. So, that's kind of that's the reason we have Spy. Spy helps us get our Spear Soldier and our Assailant out. So we go wide with level 4 2,000 hitters. And that's really what Gravekeepers try to do, at least in GOAT format. So I think that's it for our Gravekeepers. We're moving on to our regular GOAT MVPs. We got our 1 Jinzo, because I think it was at 1. We played 2 Tsukiyomi. Tsukiyomi is a spirit, so it can't be special summoned, and it returns to the hand at the end phase. And when this card is normal summon, flip summon, or flip face up, flip one face up monster on the field to face down defense position. So that counts. You can flip your monster back face down. So we can grab our, for example, we can play a Tsukiyomi, and we can flip our Spy back face down. That way, whenever she's hit again, we'll special summon a Gravekeeper again. So, or we can hit a Thousand Eyes Restrict, or we can hit a Jinzo to just kind of protect ourselves a little bit longer, or to be able to use trap cards if we hit a Jinzo. It's basically a Book of Moon, flip one face-up monster into face-down defense position. So it's basically a Book of Moon, it kind of just helps us get rid of Thousand Eyes, helps us, we can hit our own stuff. I'm double checking. When face up, yeah. Flip one face up monster on the field to face down defense position. So yeah, it could be ours, it could be theirs. So we can flip our Spy back down, or we can flip our guard back face down, or we can flip our Magician of Faith. We can flip one of their problem cards. So Tsukiyomi is just a real good card, especially in GOAT format. Well, mainly in GOAT format. And then we play 1 Breaker. I think he was at 1. That's why we play 1. When he's normal summon, put a spell counter on him. And he gains 300 attack for each spell counter on him. And then you can remove a spell counter to destroy a not a face up. Just destroy a spell or trap card in general. So you can play him, give him a spell counter. He's a 19k attacker. Or then you can remove the spell counter to get rid of a back row. So real good card. Next we play, it's a little unorthodox, not many people play it in GOAT format. I play it mainly because of all the draw that GOAT had. GOAT had the Pot of Greed, it has Graceful Charity, stuff like that. So I mainly play it for that, as a protector of the Sanctuary. So he's a 19k defender, so I'll usually put him in defense, and then when he's attacked into, typically he stays alive with the 19k. And then when this card is face up on the field, your opponent cannot draw cards outside of their draw phase. So, if he's on the field, they can't play Pot of Greed because they can't draw, and they can't do Graceful Charity because they can't draw either. So he'll just stop them from using Pot of Greed, and if it stalls them a turn or two from using Pot of Greed, sometimes that's all I need, to just swarm the field with Gravekeepers and push for game. So, it's a little unorthodox choice, but I really like him. Then we got our Sangan. Sangan, of course, everybody who plays GOAT should know what this card does. When it's removed from the field, sent from the field to the graveyard, move one monster with an attack of 15,000 or 1,500 or less from your deck to your hand. So that's any Gravekeeper monster just about. I think all of them are 15k or less attack. Yeah, 12k, 1000, 15, 15. Tsukiyomi's under 15. And Protector's not a dark. So, it didn't have to be dark. Just 15k or 15,000 or 1,500. I'm sorry. I play Digimon too much. I'm sorry. So yeah, he basically grabs any card in the deck except for Jinzo. So that's, Sangen's really nice. He's kind of our searcher, if in a way, if you think about it. Then we play 2 Magician of Faith. Magician of Faith. Flip. Select 1 spell card in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So we're going to add back our Pot of Greed with this. We're going to add back our Graceful Charity. We're going to add back our Necro Valley if it gets killed. Stuff like that. Important spell cards that we need back, we're going to just grab them with them off. Then we play 3 Necro Valley. Necro Valley is one of the MVPs of this deck. It's what makes the deck work. All Gravekeeper monsters gain 500 attack and defense. And cards in either player's graveyard cannot be banished and negate any card that would move a card from the graveyard other than itself to a different place. I think they're all worded differently because they're all the same copy. Okay, Necro Valley was the wording was changed so many times that it's kind of confusing. But basically, it's cards in the graveyard can't be moved essentially. And Gravekeepers get 500 attack and defense. So it stops them from summoning Blackluster Soldier. It stops them from summoning Chaos Sorcerer. It stops them from, moving things from. I don't think Monster Reborn wasn't legal. Call of the Haunted, stuff like that. It stops them from moving things from their graveyard, and it boosts our Gravekeepers, which is what we want ultimately. We want our 2,000 Gravekeepers to just start pushing for games, start doing a lot of damage to their stuff. We play 2 Nox, Nobleman of Crossout, destroy face-down monster and remove from play. If the monster is a flip effect monster, both players check their respective decks and remove all monsters with the same name, then shuffle the decks. So this gets rid of, cards. It gets rid of, unfortunately, if we hit their Magician of Faith, we got to get rid of ours too. So that kind of hurts. But typically we're not, we don't remove Gravekeepers because we don't normally go up against Gravekeepers. So mainly this sucks when it hits a Magician of Faith. But other than that, we really don't mind because we don't play Morphing Jar. We don't play Dekoichi. We don't play Man-Eater Bug or Vindictive Spell Magician or Old Vindictive Magician, whatever his name is. So, just Nox removal. Gets rid of problematic cards, especially if they're flip effect monsters. And then we have Book of Moon. Book of Moon's mainly same reason as Tsukiyomi. We flip our Gravekeepers back, like Spy and Guard. We'll flip those back face down to reuse them. Or we'll flip a Thousand Eyes Restrict or a Jinzo. Or we'll flip problem cards that your opponent has that we just need to deal with, or at least to bide a turn. Book of Moon basically helps us do that. So, flip a monster face down. Flip a face-up monster into face-down defense position. So, yeah. Helps us do a lot of things. Next, we play, I guess you could say the big 5 when it comes to GOAT format. One-ofs. Play Snatch Steal, Pot of Greed, Graceful Charity, Hidden Storm, Heavy Storm, and Delinquent Duo. Snatch Steal, take control of one of your opponent's monsters on their side of the field and equip this card to it. Increase your opponent's life points by 1,000 during each of her standby phases. So, we grab one of their cards. Usually we'll use it for a tribute. But, we grab their cards. Excuse me. Acid. I'm sorry. We'll grab one of their cards and, take control of it for a little bit, do some damage with it. Or we'll tribute it for a Jinzo. Pot of Greed. What does Pot of Greed do? Everybody knows. Draw 2 cards. Graceful Charity. Draw 3 cards, then discard 2. Heavy Storm, destroy all spell and traps in the field. Delinquent Duo, pay 1,000 life points, then your opponent randomly selects and discards one card from their hand, and then selects and discards another card from their hand. So they choose one card to discard, and they randomly discard the other card. So it's basically they lose 2 cards. And then as a field wipe, we have Lightning Vortex, discard a card, destroy all face-up monsters on your opponent's side of the field. Yeah, it's just a field wipe. Then we have MST, because MST negates. I'm joking. This target one spell or trap of the field, destroy it. You know, gets rid of back row that we're worried about. Terraform. Gotta find that Necro Valley. Grab a field card from your deck. We need to see Necro Valley. This helps us get to it. Next, we have Rite of Spirit. Now, Rite of Spirit, target one Gravekeeper monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. This card's activation are unaffected by Necro Valley. So, you know how Necro Valley said we can't move cards from our graveyard to a different place? Rite of Spirit gets around that, specifically for Gravekeepers. Gravekeeper in your graveyard, supposed to summon it. This card's activation is not affected by Necro Valley. So, you know, it gets around Necro Valley. We get to bring our stuff back, but they can't bring their stuff back. And then rounding out the traps, we play 1 Mirror Force, I think because it was at 1. Play 1 Terra Force, again, because I think it was at 1. And we play 1 Sakuretsu Armor. For removal's sake, I have thought about getting rid of a Rite of Spirit. Or maybe the Terraforming, because I think 3 Necro Valley, you know, I'll see it enough with 3 Necro Valley and the draw that this deck has with the Graceful, with Pot of Greeds, you know, stuff like that. Just for more removal, but I feel Sakuretsu is fine at 1. Or I might take Torrential Tribute out for the Sakuretsu Armor, because sometimes Torrential Tribute, if they play a problematic monster and I have a field full of monsters that I don't want to kill, you know, Torrential Tribute is kind of bittersweet for that. While as Sakuretsu, I could destroy the 1 card and be done with it, and all my stuff stays alive. So if anything, I'd probably take out the Torrential Tribute for another Sakuretsu Armor. But Mirror Force is just too good to not play at 1. So yeah, that's the GOAT profile for Gravekeepers. Hope you like it. I'm gonna try to get with Bryce to record a match of GOAT, because he has a deck. He has a GOAT format deck made as well, and that's really the only Yu-Gi-Oh I really care to play these days, because it's what I know. You know, I know GOAT format. It's the format that I played as a kid, and I know a lot about it. So yeah, so I'll try to get somebody who knows more about Yu-Gi-Oh to do some videos for the channel. But as for me, I only know GOAT format really. But I could give you as much GOAT format stuff as you want. If y'all like, you know, if y'all like this video enough and y'all want to see more GOAT profiles or GOAT format, you know, talk or stuff, then I'll be sure to bring that to you. But until next time, give us a like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. We're trying to build our subscriber count. So, you know, if you like this type of stuff, you like profiles, you like matches, you like Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, we're going to be bringing Magic stuff to you soon. Dragon Ball, you know, this is the channel to do it, man. We got matches, we got openings, we got profiles, got a lot of stuff. So, hope you enjoy this video, and we'll catch you next time. Later, guys.